You're back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So last night I went through a deep dive of my old emails. Like I went way back to like 2003, 2004, because I was looking for a photo of me, Morgan, and Courtney Jones just before we went out into the Blue Mountains. I knew there was one photo because someone had a Nokia phone, one of those Nokia phones with a camera. It was like one of the first ones. And I remember I had it, but I had no idea where it was. And so I'm like, I'm fucking searching for it. And I went way back into my emails. Like when you go back, you realize how much of a fucking idiot you were. Like I was reading emails from like way back. Like when I was 20, 21, 22, all the way up. I could trace what fucking happened just from my stupid emails. And I remember writing some of these emails at the time and just going, this is like incredible. Like this is funny, it's smart, it's amazing. And I'm reading my old emails to like friends and people and fucking girls and shit like that. And it's full on fucking embarrassing. It's one of the most embarrassing things I've done in quite a while. Like I messaged this fucking girl, this American girl. I wasn't hooking up with her or anything. I was actually hooking up with her friends years before, but we stayed in touch. But she was like, she was like a rich girl from the US. She went to University of Pennsylvania. She's a like high-flying lawyer now in Texas. And she went to China for a little while after she was in Australia. And I sent her an email. Don't even worry about what was in the email. The subject line of the email was Ching Chong. So she received, and I had no idea at the time. I didn't know what Pennsylvania University was. I was just a fucking crazy Australian just drinking and doing drugs. I didn't give a shit. I was just out there. But she received an email from me, David Boyle, subject, Ching Chong. Absolute fucking idiot. So I was going through all my old emails. It was strange. I found the photo of me, Courtney, and Morgan before we went out into the Blue Mountains from the Fucked Up Friday story I told on Friday. I also found the photo, the very embarrassing photo of where I passed out with my pants down. This was the only time it ever happened to me ever in my life. But I was passed out in the gutter with my pants down and a little bit of scro showing. And that has never seen the light of day. You can forget about that. But I'll post the Courtney Jones and Morgan one on the Patreon. And another thing I found in my emails, I tell you what I was thinking as well. I was like, this is very confronting going through my old emails. Like there's some raw shit in there. There's some raw shit in these emails. And then I was like, hold on a second. I've just done a podcast every fucking day for almost 5 years now. And there's some raw shit in those as well. That's probably going to be harder to live with than these emails. Anyway, I went through and I found an email that I sent to myself back in the day. It was when I was taking a script writing course at university and I had to do a synopsis of a movie I was thinking of. And I literally just banged something up the night before. And to be honest with you, it shows. So I'll read out the synopsis to you. This is the Boyle's first attempt at writing a synopsis for a movie that is never going to get made. Here it is. Synopsis. I probably should have saved this for a full episode. Anyway, Paulie Keith, a failed musician with a tendency for drugs, booze, and women, just drawing a little bit there from life experience I am, becomes a priest to live out his dreams of the rock and roll lifestyle. Despite being an atheist who only worships the Rolling Stones, he becomes one of the most famous priests in the country. The priesthood and the higher ranking members of the church want him gone, but his popularity is too great just to kick him out. So higher ranking members of the church try to reveal all his excesses, even though he is stealing money from the church. This is just basically my life crammed into like some structure. Even though he is stealing money from the church, never sober, and rarely without a couple of skimpily dressed women in arm, people just seem to ignore this, and controversy after controversy just washes away. Because Paulie was adopted when he was a baby and doesn't know his real parents, the priesthood hire a Jewish couple to pose as his maternal parents. I think that's meant to be paternal. Maternal? Whatever. I still don't know. I didn't know then and I don't know now. Isn't maternal fucking mother? Paternal. Whatever. On finding his birth parents and finding out he is Jewish, Paulie gives up the church, the booze and the drugs and the women and becomes a straight-laced member of the Jewish community. Paulie's band has not been living the high life since Paulie turned Jewish. So the band set out to prove he's not Jewish and get him back into the church and back to the good old times. Now, if that isn't a hit waiting to be made, then I don't know what is. I actually remember what happens in the end of that movie as well. It's got a real good ending. He finds his real dad, and you'd be surprised who his real dad is. Anyway, maybe one day I'll finish writing the synopsis. Anyway, fucking let's move on. It's Monday. It's the start of a new week. We're just waiting for Monday in the US. We're waiting because I have a funny feeling these Bitcoin miners are going to absolutely fucking rip. So I'm looking forward to Monday all across the world. And so are you, because it's Ask Boyle time. So if you have a question you would like answered by one of the greatest minds of the generation or any generation, comedian, philosopher, scriptwriter, crane driver, let Boyle, then head to my website, boylecomedy.com. There's a section there for Ask Boyle. Put your dates in and ask away, baby. Also, send your fucking fucked up Friday stories in. You're going to get in real quickly. If you've been meaning to write one, get to it. Fucking smash it out. While you're there, while you're at my website, why don't you join the Patreon? It's £1 a month, or it's even cheaper if you just go for the year membership and then I don't have to worry about the declining credit cards. Just fucking do the year thing. You get all the Degeni diaries. You get the opportunity to get fucking interviewed by me. You get the photo of me, Courtney, and Morgan before we went bush. You get all the other shit that's in there as well. Plus, you're doing a good thing. You're supporting the podcast. So get over there, join the Patreon, and let's get to it. So this week's Ask Boyle was sent in by Susan. I'm not too sure where she's from, but it's a nice little question. Here it is. What do you enjoy about not drinking alcohol? Well, Susie Q, you have come to the right place. What do I enjoy about not drinking alcohol? Literally everything is better not drinking alcohol except the social thing and the fun. But the social thing is the fun. The fun, let's just call it the fun. The fun is really non-existent. I tell you what I enjoy about not drinking, fucking not waking up with like a hangover that is mixed with anxiety and depression and shame and guilt and just feeling fucking worthless and inferior and just disgusting the next day. I enjoy that when I'm ignoring my kids, I'm ignoring them by choice. It's not because of the booze. It's not because I'm hungover or I'm drunk or I'm fucking just somewhere else, it's because I'm like, I can't be fucked. It's time for some screen time. I also enjoy that I have like full control of my motor functions again. I remember when I was drinking, and especially like the next day, hungover as like fucking dog shit. I remember like doing simple shit like opening a fridge door or like walking to a bathroom or doing anything just seemed like such a complex movement. I'm like, how am I going to pull that off? Like, how am I going to actually do that? Shake someone's hand? How do you even bring your hand forward? Like, your mind's so scrambled that you don't even know how to do basic things. And that's just when you're hungover. Like, towards the end when I was drinking, when I was drunk, it was just blacking out and like not knowing what the fuck was going on. I enjoy not living in like the super, super highs and the super, super lows anymore. I like how everything's sort of flattened out a little bit. More manageable. Like the swings are exciting for a while when you're younger, but after a while it's just exhausting and it causes more anxiety and fucking depression and shit like that. And then you mask it over with a little bit more drinking. Like everything is better not drinking. I've enjoyed getting my memory back as well. It used to be completely fucking shot, but now it seems to be fucking firing back up. When I was younger, I used to have a great memory, and then I spent like 20 years trying to destroy it, and I didn't think it was ever going to come back to full function. But despite there being some holes in there from drug taking and drinking and fucking getting punched in the head a few times, it seems to have like bounced back. It seems to be pretty decent again. So I've enjoyed that. Like, honestly, all of it's better. The dude a couple of doors down, the Irish guy, he came over yesterday and he was at a wedding the night before and he got fucked up and he's a bit older than me and he's like, I just feel like death. I feel like fucking death. We had to cancel everything today. Like, we were going to go up into the mountains and shit like that. He's like, we can't do any of it. We're just in bed. I'm like, fuck, I just do not miss that at all. The waking up was a big problem when you're a drinker as well. Like, everything's fucked in the morning, especially if you're a loudmouth, blackout drunk, because you wouldn't remember the things that you did, but you knew you did something every morning. And those mornings were just hell. Hell. So I enjoy waking up every morning now. Well, not enjoy, but I'm not scared. I'm not terrified of waking up every morning. So waking up's good too. Honestly, all of it's fucking sweet. The only thing alcohol really makes better is like social interactions and fun. And the social interactions, that's almost bullshit as well. Because it's only at the very beginning of the drinking that the social interactions are better. When it gets a little bit later and you're talking absolute fucking horse shit, they're not actually better. You just think in your mind they're better. But the fun is what you miss. That's the main thing you're missing out on. But I had my fair share of fun. No one's looking at me and going, Boyle didn't have enough fun. He didn't have enough fun when he was younger. He really left a lot on the table there. No one's thinking that. People before I quit were like, he's had too much. He needs to stop having so much fun because he's actually affecting everyone's fun. It's not good. So yeah, in my mind, everything's better. I enjoy everything more, except for those couple of little things. Anyway, thank you, Susan. Thank you for the question. That'll do for today, and I'll see you the fuck later.